So this is Audrey #1, the baby. The puppet is mounted inside a coffee can, and there are these rings that have fishing line that go up and through some tubes and come up, and each one operates a leaf. The leaves recoil back upwards with a corset stay material up this rib, so that although it gets a bit of a memory over time, it can still recoil.
And how did it extend?
The puppeteer, again, Landon, has his arm up underneath inside the sleeve of the long neck.
Okay.
To allow him to get it up to full arm's length when the puppet indeed grows. And it's a hand puppet as well, so that he can manipulate it, and a finger is in the tongue for the little wiggle waggle scene.
Okay.
You rolling?
Yep.
This is the work counter for the first scene of the show, and this is a plug which conforms to the same cutout shape in the top of the counter. Once the puppet gag is finished, we need to be able to fill this hole, so this little plug is living underneath the counter and comes in and fills up that space. Along comes the puppeteer, or the actor, Sheldon, with the puppet, and you'll notice that there's a flange here which matches the flanges on both sides, and they set down in there and do a quarter turn lock, so that now there's no ability for it to wiggle waggle, so the puppeteer can have as much force and energy as he wants underneath there, and the can doesn't start to wiggle and create nuisances to the illusions. So there's Landon down in his lovely squat position. Go ahead, Landon, and he takes out a plug which is holding those rings in that we mentioned earlier, just so that they don't dangle and the audience sees them. An actor holds the head of the puppet in place, masked by his body to the audience, so that Landon can reach up inside and get a good grip inside the puppet. The actor moves aside, and the puppet's alive. He's got a fair bit of left, right, and backwards and forwards, and stretch up to your maximum height when you can, and tip down and face the camera. Wiggle the tongue. There we go. Lovely. Good. Thanks. And then that comes out.
So, we still going to dinner?
You're not going anywhere, Krellborn. You're going to stay right here and take care of this sick plant. How come it's fainting all the time?
I told you, it just wilts like this. If that'll appease. Now please, oh please, vote for me.
So this is the old gag of the actor's arm is coming through the pot itself and up into animate the puppet's head, and then there's a false hand on the side of the puppet, or the side of the pot, sorry, to simulate the real hand. So this is a regular suit jacket. The side seam was opened up, so the actor's arm is actually going through the split in the side seam, up the back collar part of the puppet and in to operate the head. And the false arm, of course, is up a false sleeve, where we built a styrofoam forearm and bicep section, so there's some substance to the arm itself.
And your hand is operated?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Thanks, boss.
He pushed the broom, nothing in his ears but gloom and doom. Then he lit a fuse and give him room. Stand aside and watch that mother blow. Explosion, shake the boom. Don't it go to show you now? And kazoo, zowie, powie, holy cow. He ordered up the rainbow to go. Well, cow.
Yep.
This is Audrey #3. Basically, it comes in two parts. This is the pot section with a background leaf to disguise the backside of the puppet. And here's a swivelable chair that Landon, the operator, sits on, so that he has full mobility, swinging left and right. What he comes on stage wearing is a pair of custom-made tentacle underwear with a few appendages to it, so that it doesn't look like just two legs hanging down. And there are two other extensions to these. If you just sit down, Landon, I'll squeeze this on. This guy ends up going onto his feet, so that when he's in full operation mode, he can do his wiggle waggling and get some good animation happening out there, as well as pivoting. Okay?
Yeah.
And it would be good to be able to show me lifting this down. I'll turn this for you. Do you need some special lighting?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good.
Where's yours? I give you two.
Come on.
We're now looking inside puppet #3. PVC pipe structure, a rod across there that he operates and lifts the upper jaw, the upper lip of the puppet, and underneath it is the lower section, which is basically sitting on his lap. So this is the underneath part of the mouth and the upper part of the mouth. Here is the see-through veil that he's able to look and see the action of the show without the audience looking in.
Right.
Again, this hoop is spring-loaded to help relieve some of the weight and issues of the weight of the whole thing.
Yeah, springs there. Okay.
So I will. That's going to help me.
Okay.
So there's the actor jumping inside. We got him back to his stool and lifts it up into his crotch area. And this is the challenging scene in the play where he has to remain vertically like this for about 20 minutes in that particular scene. And then finally, when it's his turn, he comes alive and bends at his waist. And then with the operation of lifting the handlebar up and down inside.
Hey! This must be the plant you're talking about on the news. What do you call it? An Audrey II. Cute name. Catchy. I'll see you in the morning. Oh boy, here we go again. Look, I haven't got much left. Just give me another day to heal and we'll start on the left hand again. Feed me. Yeah. Beg your pardon? Feed me. Dude, you talk. You open up your trap, your thing. You said, feed me, Krillmore, feed me now. But I can't. I'm starving. Look, maybe I can squeeze a little more out of this one. I need some food. I know, but you can't get blood out of a stump. You got me more. What do you want me to do? Slit my wrists? Hey. Nice of you to offer, but I'd like to be a big wheel down and out forever in deal. Now's the plan to make it all. Feel the storm and dragging me more.
So this being the back side of #4, the operator sits on this stool some of the time. Sometimes he's standing up. Typically when the actors are dying and being swallowed, the stool is out of the way and he's standing and they scoop between his legs. There's several different handle positions and rod positions up inside that the operator can wheel this thing back and forth.
Okay.
Tipping it up and down. And there's what we call a wobble board, a dish with a rounded base to it, to allow the entire puppet to swivel 360 and wobble back and forth, left and right 360.
Okay, Landon, you want to just kind of enter the...
Kick those support boards out of the way if you don't mind, Landon.
Yeah, okay. So you can see him moving it back and forth.
And there are springs on the back side. Landon, could you point to the springs? Let Randy get that. And that's working in cooperation with the overall balance point and pivot joints of the jaw joint, so that the operator doesn't have to work as hard because there's the spring assist.
And how do you open it, Landon?
There's 2 bars in here that you can use to open it.
Okay. Go ahead. All right, okay. Okay, stand by for a sec. Excuse me, Sherry. Okay, go ahead, Landon. And open like you're operating. Right. And the feet, the tentacles move too, don't they?
All those old Randy, the tentacles are like rod puppets on a rod, and I'm just wiggling and twisting to give it a little bit of life and animation, along with the dialogue and the spirit of the scene.
Very cool. And you run a big tongue in there or something?
What?
No tongue.
Open up there, Landon. Wide open. Yeah, there we are. Okay, there you go. Okay. Good.
You want me to disappear down in it?
I already got that.
Your future is already. Come on. Ain't no time to do squeamish. Come on. I swear on all my scores. When it's gone, the world will be yours.
In the plant.
Shout out, we'll feed me, poo, poo,